these are minor thing we'll remember. Okay, so this is the thing done up to here. This is the point. And today we are not going to discuss much. To this only very important topic will cover. But before that, let us recap what we have studied so far in asset accounting. So anybody can summarize what we have studied? Anybody can summarize what we have studied so far in asset accounting?
Hari, I can give a try, Hari, and I need
Yeah,
your help, Hari.
no problem, Ramesh.
Okay. So whenever we are dealing with an asset, what we need to understand is, let's take a plant or machinery. There is one option: we can procure the asset on our own, and on the other hand, we can rent it also. Let's say that when I am renting a plant or machinery, what would be the accounting entry that I'm going to make? Rent account debtor to the vendor. But whenever I'm going to procure an asset, what exactly I'm going to do is, after every month, there is something called depreciation that is going to come in. That is similar like your rent. And when I'm going to post a depreciation in my financial books, normally what we are going to do is depreciation account debtor to asset. That's what we do. But in SAP, what we are going to do is depreciation account debtor to accumulated depreciation GL account. Let's take an example that we are procuring an asset for 12,000 rupees. And I'm saying that every year the depreciation is going to be 10%. So what does it mean? Every year the depreciation amount is going to be 1200 rupees. So what is a GL account that I'm going to post for my depreciation? Depreciation account debtor to accumulated depreciation. So in this case, the depreciation is 1200 rupees and accumulated depreciation is going to be 1200 rupees. And in my balance sheet, how do I going to reflect that? My asset value is going to be 12,000 rupees and my accumulated depreciation is 1,200 rupees. So subtract 12,000 minus 1,200. That's what the current value of my asset. So one of the major thing that we are dealing with the asset is depreciation. And normally in SAP, the depreciation is going to be calculated with the help of the depreciation key. Now, there are other business transactions that are going to happen with the asset. What do I mean by other business transaction? For example, I'm going to procure an asset, I'm going to sell an asset, or I'm going to retire an asset. Whenever these business transactions are going to take place, what exactly I'm supposed to do? I need to get the proper GL account based on the nature of the business transaction. If I'm procuring an asset, what is the journal entry that I'm going to post? So it is going to be asset account debtor to the vendor or the cash. Now, what will be the GL account that we are going to give for that asset? How we are going to determine the account determination during this business transaction? So the whole objective is, if we are going to separate into two aspects when you are dealing with an asset, when I'm doing a business transactions, various business transaction, how do I determine an asset GL account, the respective GL account? That is one aspect. And the other aspect is going to be the depreciation, how I'm going to calculate that. This is from the financial perspective. And when you are posting a depreciation, we also need a cost center. This is a third aspect. So now, how SAP is dealing all these things is going to be, one, with the help of the asset class, and the depreciation part is going to be done with the help of the depreciation key. What is the meaning of the asset class? The asset class, for example, in the asset master right now, you are looking into various fields here. There are certain fields are going to be optional. There are some fields are going to be suppressed. There are some fields that are going to be critical. And from where it is being controlled, it is controlled from the screen layout. And the screen layout is part of the asset class. And also, when you are creating an asset, an unique number is getting created. And who is controlling that? Again, that is part of the asset class. And the asset class also serves another purpose called the how the account GL account numbers are going to be determined. So in AO90 or whatever the transaction, that's where we are going to configure all the GL account. Then we are connecting that node with the asset class. Now, the asset class that can control your asset master data screen layout, number one. And then number two, when you are going to create the asset, how the number is going to be created for the asset. And then based on the nature of the asset class, the respective GL account is going to be determined. And in the broader sense, let's say that we are having two types of asset. One is going to be plant and machinery, and another one is going to be vehicles. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm going to create two types of asset class. One related with the plant and machinery, and other one it is related to the buildings, whatever the other asset type I have said. So if it is going to be a vehicle, I'm going to have a respective GL account that I'm going to place it as per in the asset class. Same way for the plant and machinery. So that is the whole purpose of the asset class. It's like a template. From the template, we are going to get if it is going to be a vehicle, then I'm going to go for the asset class. So when you are trying to create an asset, the first thing that we need is the asset class. So behind the screen, the asset class controls three things. Number one, the asset class number range. The second thing, the screen layout. And the third thing, the respective account determination. So this is the first part. Hari, can you please go to the depreciation area, please?
Yeah, sure.
So now here, when we are coming into the depreciation, in simple terms, as earlier we mentioned, we bought an asset for 12,000 rupees, and I am telling that, okay, this asset needs to be depreciated 10%. Now, this is a simple logic. And the other way of telling that is, I'm having an asset, 12,000 rupees, that needs to, the longevity of the asset is going to be 10 years. So at least there are two ways we are having. Number one, I can give the life or I can give the percentage. These are all the two approaches that we are having to calculate the depreciation. Now, when I'm saying that I'm going to calculate with the help of the percentage, then there are two ways that are possible. One is WDV method, and another one, what is the other method, Hari? Life
Straight line. Straight line.
straight line method. So whenever I say that I'm going to depreciate my asset with the help of the percentage, one is going to be WDV and another one is going to be straight line method. And the second approach, which is going to be my life method. And apart from that, if you are going to look into that, an asset can be valuated in different ways depending upon the various accounting principles. For example, let's say that I buy a car in India. I'm saying that in India, the longevity of that car is going to be 15 years. But the same car, the same asset, from my group accounting point of view, I want to say that the car will be depreciated within 10 years. So based upon the nature of the accounting principle, we are going to change the depreciation rate. And that's where the depreciation area is coming in. And in this case, you are seeing that for this particular asset, there are going to be 5 depreciation areas. How it is coming in? If you go into FINSC ledger, for this company code, for the company code US 80, we have created two ledgers, leading ledger and the non-leading ledger. And if you go in the BSEC, there are two currencies that we have created. So we need to have 4 depreciation area mandatory for this asset. And the fifth one is going to be optional one. And maximum you can create 99 depreciation area. But the point here is how many ledgers you are using for your company code. Let's say if you are using 4 ledgers and out of that, and also you are using 3 currencies, then 4 times 3, 12 depreciation areas you need to have. That is number one point. And additionally, you can have additional depreciation area. And another point is asset is the sub ledger. It has to be connected with the main ledger, that is your general ledger. So for each accounting principle, there will be one real-time posting that will be happening. So if you look into this particular example, the first four out of that, Hari have configured that for the first one and third one, it is going to be the real time. Now, coming into the critical point of the depreciation key, Hari, can you please go into the depreciation key, Hari? AFAMA, I think.
Is it okay, or you want me to go directly?
I want to go to the configuration point, Hari.
Okay. Okay. Which depreciation key want to show the example?
Uh,
SLSL?
Anything we can take, Hari. Anything we
Okay.
can
Yes.
take. Okay.
Okay.
So can you go to the previous page, Hari, please?
Okay. Yeah.
So one thing, when we are coming into the depreciation key, one of the very critical field that we have to notice is depreciation to the day check mark. So this is a very straightforward method. Now, when you have ticked this particular check mark, that means from the day you bought the asset, we are going to depreciate it. Now, can you please go to the next screen, Hari?
Yeah.
The depreciation to the key and the period control are mutually exclusive fields. But before we get into the period control, what we need to understand is when we are saying that depreciation, earlier we mentioned that a depreciation can be done with the help of the percentage or the life. Where do we declare that? That will be declared in the base method. In the base method, we are saying that how I want to depreciate my asset, whether through percentage or through number of years. And now, whatever I declare that, then I come into the multi-level method. Then accordingly, Hari, can you please go to the multi-level method, please?
You want me to open another screen?
Yes, please.
Sure. Yeah.
So now the key point when you come into the multi-level method, the base value that is going to give whether it is going to be what are all the two methods, sorry, 0, 1 and 14, right?
24.
0, 1 and 24.
Zero
So
one for straight line method, 24 for WDB method. Yeah.
correct. So whenever in the base method, when we say that we are going to depreciate my asset with the help of the percentage, then the base value is going to tell me that whether it is going to be a straight line method or WDB method. And in the base method, if I say that I'm going to give the percentage, then I can give the directly the percentage. This is the first approach. And can you again please go to the
Previous screen. Yeah.
yeah. Now we are going to talk about the period control. Now, when the period control is going to come in the previous screen, we are going to uncheck that from this day, depreciation to the day. When we uncheck this, only then the period control will come into the picture. And what is the purpose of the period control? Like Hari gave the example yesterday that when I'm going to buy a asset after July, then I'm going to calculate the depreciation only for 6 months. But if I buy an asset before June 30th, even if I buy on May 14th, I'm going to calculate the depreciation from January 1st. Because based on certain countries' restrictions, we need to have the period control method also. Sometime Some country restrictions will say that if you buy the asset after 15th of the month, then you need to calculate, if let's say that you are buying an asset on 27th of the month, still you need to calculate the depreciation from 15th of the month. Or let's say that you have bought an asset before 15th of that month, they are going to say that you need to calculate the depreciation from the first of the month. Some country restriction will say that even if you buy an asset on December 30th, you need to calculate the depreciation from January 1st. That's where this period control is going to come into the picture. So in summary, what we are trying to do is we are trying to create an asset, and for that we need to have an asset class which is going to give the properties of the screen layout and the number range for the asset, and then based on the nature of the asset we are going to get the respective GL account. That is one side. And the next side is once you procure an asset, every month we are supposed to run the depreciation. So the depreciation key is going to have all the respective formulas to calculate the depreciation. Hari, can you please go to the asset master, please?
Asset master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can you please go to the second tab, time dependent? So when I post a depreciation or whatever the expense GL account, definitely we need to have a cost center, and that's where this cost center is coming into the picture. So in the cost center master data, we have configured the profit center. That's why this profit center is coming. So already we know that in S4 HANA, any transaction that we are posting, every line item need to have the profit center. So that will be the whole summary of how we are dealing with the asset.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Rabi. It was really nice overview of asset accounting. And thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Now let me go to other any other volunteer who want to summarize the asset accounting.